This is a Hawgs Sports Network podcast. You're listening to the Hawgs Illustrated Sports Club podcast. Here's your host, Chip Souza of the Hawgs Sports Network.
This is Chip Souza with the Hawgs Sports Network from the Hawgs Illustrated Sports Club luncheon today. Had a great program today. We are talking to Drake Lindsey, the Prep Rally Player of the Week, Fayetteville High School quarterback. Here's Drake Lindsey. All right, I'm talking with Drake Lindsey, he's our Prep Rally Player of the Week. 6 touchdown passes. I mean, career high for you. Mm-hmm. Were you just kind of in the zone?
Yes, sir, I was. We started the first quarter rough, so just had to get back in our groove, motivate the offense to keep going, and don't get down on these plays, and just start being us and just continue to do what we do.
You guys are averaging about 50 points a game. You got to feel good about where you are going into a big game Friday night with Rock.
Yeah, huge game. Last year didn't go our way against them, so we're really ready to play them this Friday. We're going to have a good game plan, got some new plays ready, so it's going to be a good one.
Now, you connected with Jason, 5 touchdown passes. You guys have been without, though, one of your top receivers in Locke McKinney. When do you think you might get him back? And, how much more explosive are you guys going to be when you get him back?
Yeah, he's been practicing, trying to get to full speed. When he gets back, it's a whole nother level to our offense. He's really, really good player, and when the ball gets in his hands, he just does special things.
You got to walk me through your recruitment and your commitment to Minnesota, going to play for PJ Fleck.
Yes, sir.
It's a guy that's got a lot of passion about football. Was that a big factor for you?
Yeah, it was really like Colorado State before them, and then they called me a couple days after my visit and offered me a scholarship, and then the next week, I didn't really know about him yet. The next week, I got on the phone with Coach Fleck, and really – from the get-go of the FaceTime, I kind of knew that was the person I wanted to play for immediately. And just like the relationship I have with the offensive coordinator, Greg Harbaugh, and all the assistant coaches, and then Coach Fleck, he was really a big deal in my commitment. I just have a lot of trust in him and how he's going to develop me as a human and just a football player.
Do you anticipate you'll be an early enrollee, or are you going to?
Yes, sir. I'm going to be there in January.
Good.
Yes, sir.
Right. Well, that is Drake Lindsey, our Prep Rally Player of the Week. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes,
Good
sir.
luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
And the Shiloh Christian Saints, they are the Prep Rally Program of the Week. I talked to Shiloh Christian coach Tucker Barnard. Here's what he had to say about the Saints football program. Talking with Coach Tucker Barnard, the Program of the Week, Shiloh Christian football. How happy are you to be kind of back? I mean, I know Stillwater was home, but this was also home to you for a while.
Yeah, we were here for 7 years, and it was a really big time in my life. I mean, I was, really just kind of coming into my own as a coach and learning how to coach and how to interact with kids. I mean, it's one thing to know a little bit about football and even to know a little bit about how to play, but learning how to communicate with kids and motivate kids. And I really grew during that time. And like I mentioned, just the church and the school and again, I was an adult, but the spiritual growth that I went through. I spent 4 years at Arkansas Baptist High School in Little Rock, and then 7 years here at Shiloh Christian, and I just really felt like the Lord worked on me in that time, and so just grateful for that time. And we loved Northwest Arkansas when we were here. I'm an Oklahoma guy. My wife is too, but this is an incredible part of the country. So when we had the chance to come back and get, in all of this wrapped up again in that all environment, we were excited to do it.
How much of it was a factor that you could pretty much kind of have your imprint and your hand on everything from, 7th grade, even younger than that, if that's what you want to be involved in? How much of a factor was that for you?
Yeah, it's definitely a factor. I mean, that's something that we tried to do at Stillwater. I was the president of the Youth Football League in Stillwater. Obviously, being a bigger school, we had a 7th grade football staff, and an 8th grade football staff, and a 9th grade football staff, and a high school football staff. And here at Shiloh, my high school coaches coach 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, right? And so we do have a lot greater imprint. I mean, you have to get into youth football before you're away from our core group of coaches. And so that's a double-edged sword. I mean, our coaches are tired. They work a lot, and they coach a lot, and it takes a lot of energy to do it the way that we do it. but there's a big impact there, and that absolutely plays a role. And I told people when I was here the last time that the advantage that is to be able to coach all of those kids from grade 7 through 12. I noticed that as a defensive coordinator here that by the time those kids got to be juniors, they knew about everything I knew. I kind of had tapped out of information that I even had, and I hope I'm a little better now and have more to offer. But it's a great advantage.
Got a brand new indoor facility over there that has to be nice for you guys. Expanded weight room and all that too.
New weight room, obviously locker room and team room for video meetings and new coaches' offices, new training room. I mean, there's a new wrestling room upstairs. It's a beautiful facility. It's got everything that we could ever want or need as a high school football program. We have a nutrition bar where we are feeding our kids, and we've got them protein drinks and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and turkey sandwiches and things like that. So really we'll never be able to do things the way a Division I college does, but to kind of mimic some of those things and doing them on a little bit different level. I think is something that we'll see an impact from.
Coach, congratulations and good luck to you guys the rest of the way. That's Tucker Barnard, the head football coach at Shiloh Christian. Coach, 3-1.
Yes, sir.
Here we go.
Here we go. Thank you.
Brooke Matthews, former Lady Razorback golfer, now currently on the LPGA Tour. She was our guest speaker today, and here is Brooke Matthews.
So let me ask you this. You told me you grew up playing Pinnacle. It's where you learned to play golf. Not a lot of people get to go play on the LPGA, number one. Number two, they don't get to play an LPGA event on their home course. That's got to be a pretty cool feeling.
Yeah, it is a pretty special feeling. Pinnacle definitely has a big chunk of my heart. Learned how to play golf out there when I was 9, 10, 11 years old. My dad would always take me out there after school, and we would play 9 holes. And just so many memories out there, and it's just really cool that I get to continue making those memories playing in this LPGA event. I think this LPGA event is one of the big reasons I even really got interested in golf. Seeing all the girls out there was really inspiring to me when I was young. So, yeah, I couldn't be more happy. Feel really lucky. Like you said, not very many people get to play an LPGA event at their home course. So, just taking in the experience. Every year has been a little bit different. My first 2 years I got to play as an Arkansas Razorback, and these last 2 have been as professionals. So, just a little different every year, but man, every time you come back, it's just like breath of fresh air.
Hey, before we go too far, your mom is here. Why don't you introduce?
Hi, that's my mom, Gwen Matthews. Stand up, Mom. Yeah, we don't get here without support system, so I have one of the best ones, so I'm lucky.
Tell me about the week in the life of an LPGA golfer, and I would assume a lot of nights away from home. It's got to be a pretty cool feeling to be able to come back and be around your family on a week like this.
Yeah, for sure. I guess just talking a little bit about the transition from college golf to professional golf. First of all, you play a lot more golf. I'm pretty much playing on the road over 20 weeks out of the year. In college, I think we had 10 tournaments on our schedule, so you're pretty much doubling it right off the bat. Obviously, in college, you have your teammates to travel with. On the pro circuit, like, you make some friends out there, but you really are on your own, and it's kind of down to you at the end of the day. So being able to come home is like everything. If you have a couple days and like it's worth taking that flight back home and just getting to spend some time with your family, kind of relax. Like, there's a lot of times I play 4 or 5 weeks in a row. Like, this is my second week in a row. I'm playing the next 2. So managing your energy, I think, is one of the most important things. And being here, like, I know I'm playing this week and I have a lot going on, but I still feel like I'm able to kind of relax. So it's really nice.
Do you like the familiarity of a course that you know, like Pinnacle, or do you like the challenge of a course that you've never played before?
Definitely like the familiarity. Sometimes it's nice going to a new course, but man, I go to a new course pretty much every single week. So whenever I have the chance to come home, it's like a football game. You always want to play at home. It's the home field advantage. It's a real thing. You got the crowds, you got the hometown support. You get to do things like this. You can't beat it.
You mentioned going to the Northwest Arkansas Championship growing up. You did not start playing golf until later, later than probably a lot of the people you're playing against now. How much influence did that tournament have on you picking up the clubs, picking up this game?
For sure, a lot. Our first year, we actually hosted 2 golfers, Vicky Getz Ackerman and Wendy Ward, and immediately I just thought they were like the coolest. I think I was 8 or 9 years old when they started coming, was still in gymnastics and everything, and so, getting to meet them and not just watch, but actually getting to meet some of the players out there, it was really inspiring, and I always knew I wanted to do sports professionally when I was young. Did I think it was going to be golf? No, but I'm happy that it ended up being that, so I just feel so lucky to have had that as a young kid, and I really don't know if I would be here where I am right now without having that.
I read, is this right, that you began golf at the age of 12? That you were a competitive gymnast, you played competitive softball. Are you able to take anything out of those 2 sports in what you do now?
Yeah, definitely. It was funny when I was a competitive gymnast when I was younger, which that's a tough world out there. I don't know if anybody's experienced with that, but that's one of the toughest ones, if not the toughest. So, and then I started playing softball, not super serious. It was just so much fun, and it was funny. Actually, when I started playing golf, I was still playing softball. My dad made me start batting left-handed so it wouldn't mess up my golf swing. So probably should still do that, because golf is a really one-sided sport. But yeah, I feel like anytime you're in that competitive atmosphere, it helps you no matter where you are, and especially going into high school and college golf, having that team aspect it's the best, and it's something I miss all the time. Even though you build your own team, you really just miss having those teammates and camaraderie. And but yeah, I feel like any time you have any kind of competitive in sports, like they all kind of overlap in a lot of ways.
All right. Now, you said your mom only got part of this story right. She was telling us a story. You're young, very early to golf. You lose a junior event to your neighbor, and that this motivates you to get better.
Yeah, definitely. My mom was talking about I played in the club championship at Pinnacle when I was really young, but really what lit my fire in golf was we had these junior PGA events all around Northwest Arkansas. We'd go to Springdale, Lost Springs, Paradise, everywhere, basically around Northwest Arkansas. And I was getting my butt kicked weekly at these events. And I did not like that, especially playing from other sports. And so that was a really motivating thing for me. Even it was the smallest tournaments you could have had, but it really got me started, and it kind of lit that fire under me, and it made me realize that it was actually what I wanted to do. And then kind of there I got my goal at first was I want to play for the Hawgs. I want to play at the University of Arkansas. I'll do whatever I can do to just get there. And so, yeah.
What kind of opportunities did you have college-wise? Because I don't remember when you committed to the U of A, but I know that I kept hearing your name a lot in high school. I think you won a couple of state championships. You were committed by your senior year. Tell us about that, maybe recruitment, and how you ended up with Shauna.
Yeah, my recruiting story isn't really like anybody else's. I really didn't visit or look at any other places, and that was kind of my own fault. We were getting letters and stuff from everywhere else, but I wanted Arkansas so bad. And I just got so lucky that I had Shauna and Mike as my coaches there in the facilities and everything. But, when you grow up a Hog fan, it's tough, and obviously that was my goal. So I was really lucky that everything fell into place and that I didn't end up having to look anywhere else. I think I committed the summer after my sophomore year of high school, which sounds crazy to me right now, but that's just the way it is, and, it just keeps getting younger.
In baseball, you get players who commit at 14. Jason, how old were you when you committed to play baseball at the U of A? Yeah, so they've got some guardrails, I think, in place now where they're not getting commitments as early, but that's the way it happens. At the U of A, I want to talk about something Chip said. You set the NCAA record for a 54-hole course, and not only did you set it, you beat it by 6 strokes. So, I mean, that's an obliteration of a record. Tell us about that weekend and how you felt. How did you break that record, and did you know at the time that you might be doing something special?
Yeah, so obviously it was an amazing week. I mean, what am I gonna say? But it was in Charleston, South Carolina. It was, like he said, 2021, and it was actually at the same course that I had played my very first college event in whatever it was, 2018, 2019. And so I already had good memories going into it. I knew I liked the course. The food at the course is amazing that week, which always helps. But yeah, it just one of those stories of getting in the zone. It was one of those tournaments where we played 36 holes the first day and then 18 the second day. And so luckily I caught fire on that 36-hole day and was 17 or 18 under after the first day. And my team got in and was like, is her score right? I'm like, yeah, I don't really know what happened there. It was my best round ever, which was 9 under the first round. And then I shot 8 under the second round, which was my second best round ever. And then going into the last day, I was like, well, I don't know. We'll see this was a fluke or not. And I ended up shooting 8 under the last day. But the cool part about that story was we, as a team, actually won the tournament by 1 shot. So if I would have shot 24 under that week, we would have tied with Baylor, which is always nice beating Baylor. But yeah, it was really cool, and I knew coming down the stretch I was probably gonna win. And I was looking at the scoreboard with my coach on one hole, and she was like, you're probably gonna win, but we need it for the team. And coming down the very last hole, she was like, okay, Brooke, you got to make a birdie here. We're going to have a chance to win. I'm like, seriously? But luckily I ended up getting it done. And winning individually is really cool and it's really special. But winning as a team, there's nothing like it. Those bus rides after, traveling back, it's just for the morale. It's way more fun winning with people than winning by yourself.
Before the LPGA event last year, we had Maria Fassi here. Tell me about her influence on you and being on the tour with her now.
Yeah, Maria's awesome. I was lucky enough to get to play with her for 2 years when we were in college. And, man, everyone talks about how good of a golfer she is. Obviously she is, but I always tell people she's an even better person. She was an incredible teammate to me, a leader. She was someone I really looked up to. Whenever she left the team, I kind of had to step in as the leader. And if I wouldn't have had her as an influence, it I don't know, could have gone differently. But yeah, I'm somebody I still talk to. She still lives in Fayetteville and practices out at Blessings. So whenever I'm out there, I always see her and talk to her. And yeah, it's just been a good friendship that I've made over the years.
And you talked about the thrill of winning as a team, but when she won that individual championship, that was a really neat setting, especially being here in Fayetteville. And you were there. I mean, just what did that mean for you all the day that happened?
Yeah, that was incredible. We were obviously stoked that we were hosting nationals and that we were able to play. And then I remember, I don't know if anyone's ever played Blessings. It's a really, really tough golf course. But during the national championship, it played tougher than really any golf course I've ever played. So that final round, the wind was blowing, it was firm and fast, and Maria shot, I think, 6 under. I think I shot, I don't know, something way over. And I remember coming in, and I'm like, there's no way she just played the same course that everybody else did. And her being able to win there, I know she probably stayed in college that extra year because she had all the accolades to go pro early, no problem. And I know she stayed there because she wanted to win that national championship. And just seeing her get it done and being a part of it and getting to celebrate with her, gosh, it gives me chills still. It's awesome.
Now, a lot of people think you might have won a national championship had you stayed for your last year. That was a tough decision for you. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it was a tough decision. I would have had some pretty tough competition with Rose Zhang there, but yeah, my college career was awesome. I was put in a little bit of a tough spot, but in Q school, I went 4 years at Arkansas, and then I took a half year of my COVID year. So I was there 4.5 years, so had graduated and everything, and made it through Q school, got my LPGA Tour card, and it was a tough decision because I love college golf. I loved my team, loved my coaches, literally everything about it, but it's really a disadvantage to start halfway through the year, playing on the LPGA Tour. So I took the decision, whether it was the right decision or not, who knows? But it's the one I made, and it was good, and I'm happy that I was able to gain all that experience. And as for the national champion, who knows? Like, there's so many good players, you just never know. But yeah, I'm happy with my college career.
And you've talked about Maria, but you've also got Stacey Lewis on the tour. I have a feeling she's a pretty big mentor for you. Or important to mentor, and you've got Gabby Lopez on the tour. Just tell me about being around them and maybe how they've helped you learn the ways of being on the LPGA.
Yeah, definitely. Stacy, I remember I played with her in my very first practice round at LPGA, and I remember she just told me, she's like, hey, like, you earn your spot, you belong here, like. And I thought that was really cool. Yeah, Stacy's awesome, and so is Gabby. I actually am really, really good friends with Gabby. We share an apartment together in Florida, us and a couple other people, so she's somebody that I've gotten close to. And yeah, I mean, Shauna recruits them good, so pretty much everybody who's played for Arkansas, like, there's somebody that I'm going to get along with and enjoy spending time with.
So the LPGA event here at Pinnacle, it's bounced around different weekends every year. I think maybe when it started, it was this time of year. Then it was around the 4th of July for quite a while, or late June. Now it's back into the fall. You know the course real well. How does it play different this time of year versus maybe at the height of summer?
Well, the height of summer, you're basically just trying not to pass out. So the weather is definitely nicer. But yeah, I mean, they always have Pinnacle in good shape. I know they've had some winter kill this year, just like every course in Northwest Arkansas has. So they've been battling that. But I mean, the grounds crew there, they're awesome. I know they're going to get the course in good shape. It's going to dry out during this week. But yeah, it plays great. Plays great. What can I say? Like, Pinnacle, it's one of the top courses in Northwest Arkansas. So all the girls love it on tour, and I know they'll have it in good shape.
So the 17th hole is something people talk about at this event, and if you haven't been, I think you can tell better than I can. But they've got hog calls for all of you who come down, and it's almost like that hole at the early year event in Phoenix, where it gets real rowdy on the PGA Tour. Tell us about being on the 17, and is it something that other golfers that you've talked to who do not have the ties to this area, is something they enjoy?
I think it's something everybody enjoys. The atmosphere is just so fun. Like, the crowd roots for everybody. Obviously, the Razorbacks, we get to do the hog call, which is awesome, but the crowd is rooting for everybody. They want to see good shots. They want to see good birdies. They have stuff for us to throw into the stands that week. Last year, I threw it a little too hard and nailed a lady with the towel, so trying to go a little softer this year. But no, it's just so much fun. And the LPGA, in my opinion, we don't get as many crowds as we should during the year, and this is one of our best events for spectators to show up. And we love it. The girls love it. I mean, they work really hard. They want to show what they can do. They play really well. And so we would have it every week if we could.
For people who haven't been, and I see that there's some tickets out here to go to it, what would you tell people? Like, what would your sales pitch be to people to go to this?
You're just going to have a good time, especially if you hang out around 17. Like, if you've never been before, just show up. You'll get like a free P&G like swag bag, like with a bunch of goodies in it. So if nothing else, like, go get the bag. But yeah, it's just fun. It's a good environment. You'll see some really good golf players from all over the world. It's just a world-class event. You don't have to go walk 18 holes. I know that's tough as a spectator. Trust me, I've done it. But yeah, it's fun, and it's the best in the world. They're the best of the best, and the fact that we get to have it in our backyard is really special, and not very many places can say that, so you might as well take advantage of it.
You played Augusta, is that right? Tell us about playing Augusta.
Augusta is awesome. The end. No, I played the Augusta National Women's Amateur there in 2021. I think it was 2021 or 20. Yeah, I think it was 2021. Yes, that event is unbelievable. The fact that they put that event there, and so the women can have a chance to play Augusta too, and also in their own format. It's incredible. I've never been more nervous hitting a tee shot there, definitely, than that first hole there, but it was just a out-of-body experience, really, just walking up the fairways, especially me. I'm a golf nerd. I'm like, oh, Tiger was here, and he hit this shot there, and then, like, Bubba was the one that he hooked it around the tree here. And it's just, I don't know if there's a more historical place, especially in the United States when it comes to golf. And the Masters is the Masters, you know. Even if you don't follow golf, you know what the Masters is. So yeah, just really lucky that I was able to, I think I played in the second one ever, so I was lucky I was young enough to catch that, and yeah, the memories I'll cherish forever.
So Augusta probably kind of stands alone as a memory. This is your home course up here. What are the other courses you enjoy?
Yeah, obviously Pinnacle is one of them. Blessings, I have a lot of good memories there. You know, it's our home course for Arkansas. We won twice there whenever we had our home event. I mean, man, we play so many good ones. We play one in Minnesota that they post the Hanukkah ad. I got to play Pebble Beach for the U.S. Open this year. It was my first U.S. Open. I mean, that one's right up there. We go to some amazing places. I went to Wales for the Curtis Cup, and we got to play True Links Golf. It was my first time doing that. Yeah, you get to go to some pretty spectacular places. We're pretty spoiled. I got to say that.
This will be my last one for you, and we'll get out of here. To pick up the club, so you're 12 years old, but again, relative to others, it's a little bit later. I mean, you haven't been playing golf for just too awful long. I mean, do you ever kind of step back and look at, wow, there's a lot of stuff that's happened in a short amount of time for someone who came into this at my age?
It really is. It's insane to say, but starting golf when you're 12 actually is late, which, I mean, most girls out here, you know, start before they can even walk. But yeah, reflecting back on my career just to this point, like, golf is such a roller coaster, just like all sports are. It's so many ups, so many downs. You learn so much about yourself, so much just about, like, life through golf, and I feel like it kind of makes you grow up a little faster, for sure. But yeah, I just look back and I'm just grateful for all my ups and downs that have brought me to where I am today. And it also makes me excited for the future. I know that I can still get a lot better and add some more accolades to my career and still do some more really cool things. So yeah, looking back, it's awesome, but looking forward, it's motivating, and it makes me excited for the opportunities that I can have.
Well, Brooke, we appreciate you coming, and would you give her a hand? All right. Thank you.
At next week's luncheon, we'll have former Arkansas football coach Houston Nutt. He will be the guest speaker, which should be a rousing time if you've ever been in a room with Houston Nutt. He's about as engaging as they get. He will be our guest speaker next week. That will be for October the 4th, so you'll want to get here early and get a seat for that one. This is Chip Sousa for the Hawgs Sports Network. Thanks for listening to this Hawgs Sports Luncheon podcast.
The proceeding has been a production of the Hawgs Sports Network. Look for our daily podcasts on Apple, Spotify, or your favorite podcast platform. For more Razorbacks coverage, go to wholehogsports.com or follow the Hawgs Sports Network reporters on social media.